Hello there, I'm Jeff Shadow. Welcome to my channel. I welcome you to a Shadow presentation on possibly my favorite Battle Royale game, and that is Vampire Masquerade Bloodhunt. So we enter the world of darkness. And this game, as much as I like it and would consider my favorite Battle Royale, doesn't really do very well for audio. And since I use the PS5 software to record my voice, which unfortunately I wish I could upgrade to have better audio software and stuff, I just have to use what I have at my disposal, which is fine. I'll do it, but I am looking forward to upgrading so I can create better content, because I really do enjoy making these presentations. And this is one of those presentations I decided to create, because this is a game I actually found myself enjoying. Now, of course, this is me returning, so you've probably seen me there fiddling with the mechanics again, because I haven't played this in about maybe a year or so. It's been a while. I took quite a break from this particular Battle Royale and started playing other games and things like that. So I had to get used to how the buttons and stuff worked again. But I really did enjoy my turn back, and this is my first hour returning back. I recorded a good hour of me returning, but I probably cut it down to where it's not so long, where I skip like the Abbey hangout, where you just hang out and wait for your matchmaking, which is kind of cool. You literally in like an Abbey, just hanging out with other people who's playing the game. You see what they're customized like, because you can customize your own vampire, and you can pick a class of that vampire, which is very Vampire the Masquerade type of a style. And then when you pick your class, you have certain abilities attached to it, like down there at the bottom where you see the R1, L1 buttons, where I can do like either a shoulder charge, which you probably see me pull off, where you shove yourself through the air. And it's supposed to like make it where the person can't use their abilities back at you. I believe that's how the Enforcer works, but I forget. Then also, this particular clan, because you have a clan ability, then you have your own personal ability. This particular Enforcer has the personal ability of the charge, and then the clan being, I think, the Torador or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but they're like the blue collar people, the ones that get into like law enforcement and stuff. They particularly use Flesh of Marble, which makes you like impenetrable from damage in the game for about like 10 seconds, I think, or something like that. But then of course, after you use these abilities, they have a cooldown, like every game, so you can't just spam them. I don't know, I just really find vampires very fascinating. I find like fantasy games fascinating. So that's why I'm letting this gameplay in the back. Right there is the charge I was talking about. And it has an 18-second cooldown, which you can drink blood from the NPCs that are scattered around to make that cooldown less. To make it more like 5 seconds almost even, I think, or something like that. Close to it. And here's me taking some shots. And those people that they're fighting there, they're considered entities. They're like little security guards or vampire hunters who do not like you. So they're like NPC hostiles that will hunt you down if you walk into their zone. Because they set up like zones that they will secure. It's just me looking around to see if there's any more enemies, which I just saw one right there at the clip of my eye, so I go charge for him. So I will break down a little bit of my gameplay, but also I just want to break down the game. I really want to share my passion for the game and all of its mechanics. And then you heard me talking about the NPCs, how you can feed on them, including the entities I was just talking about. You can feed on the entities once you take them down. Hold up, we got ourselves a shot lined up here. So yes, this is post-commentary, obviously. I wish I could have commented myself live, but like I said, this game typically doesn't record voices very well. It's like it shuts the audio off for some reason. Like, I've even tried to have my mic open, and even when I enter a match, it just seems like it just doesn't record voice. I could try again later, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't record it because I tried it a few times in the back when I was first uploading this game, because I have a few other channel episode. Can I speak? I'm doing this raw, so I'm leaving it in. But I do have other videos, other presentations, if you will, of this very game on my channel, with not me talking over it like this, where it's just the raw game at its disposal. So if you want to, after I break down what this game's like and my love for it, you can go back and maybe see what it's like when I first experienced the game, when I was actually getting pretty good with the mechanics. Not great by any means. I really suck at shooting games for some reason, and arrows are like evading resistance. And right there, that little thing I just fell into, that little thing that was green. Hold on a second, let me let you guys watch this. Right there, shotgun, blood hunted, takedown. That means he was spotted feeding, or he did something vampiric in front of a lot of NPCs, because NPCs will call you out and make it very aware that they know that a vampire exists. Because of course, with the name Masquerade, you have to conceal that you're a vampire while also fighting other people. So like, you can't just feed any NPC to get like the cooldown buff or whatever, because if another NPC sees you feeding, they will make that blood hunt happen. And there, I take that one guy out. You saw he was like floating. There's a cool little mobility in this game. Like, mobility is like key in this game, where you can slide to pick up speed and then jump really high because you're a vampire. And then when you're like shooting, like aiming down your sight and shooting at people when you're in the air, it will make you have like a slow-mo effect, so you have more airtime. Here I am feeding, and this part says it will lower my cooldown for Flesh of Marble, as I was talking about earlier, where I could make my powers have better cooldown, where it's not so long I have to wait. I'm equipping armor like you normally do in Battle Royales, but this one you steal from the police, like it's like their little bulletproof vests. And you can find like police vans and stuff to get armor. There's that. And then there's different classes, and this is a different class, like the Nosferatu class, which they were the reasons for the green smoke you probably saw earlier, that will cause like a poisonous effect when you stand inside it. And then some even have like a bat radar, but it'll throw out bats and it'll ping your location, so they can of course track you down and kill you. And of course, every vampire also has a passive ability, which I did not explain. Mine is every time I enter someone's area, like when someone enters my presence, I will passively debuff them to make them move slower, so I have the agility advantage, even though I'm not very good at the agility, which you're probably seeing right here as I parkour around the map. I'm not showing all the great things you can do with the parkour system in this game, because the mobility is, like I said, one of the key features of this game, and I don't do very well. But again, you have to keep in mind, I'm very rusty at the movement and stuff. I've been playing other Battle Royale games that do not have the same fluid movement as this one does. Now, unfortunately, I've heard that while I was playing it back in the day, that it was already suffering from like so low server members. Like, there's not very many people playing on the server, so you get a few lobbies where you'll have like at least a handful of bots in the lobby, which I don't mind. At least I kill some bots, right? Or take them out, you know. I don't have to worry about real people showing how sucky I am. But I just really like this combat so much. And right there, what you're seeing him do is called, I forget what the name of it is. Diablet? No, something. I'm not even going to pronounce it. It's a very weird D word. But anyways, it's basically an execution. That's what it basically is. It's like a finishing execution And when you do that, it gives you the same benefits as if you were feeding. And that's give you like a buff to your circle powers down there, which is like this right here. Increased melee damage, feeding on that. But if I would have finished him, I would also got that same buff. Because the circles down there have your melee damage, the effectiveness of like your powers, like maybe make the effect last longer or something like that. Those kind of things. I'm kind of just raw commenting on this as I watch myself play it. So hopefully you don't mind this. I just figured I'd record it and stuff, and maybe I might leave you with one last round, just straight up gameplay, so you can just enjoy the gameplay for what it is without me talking over it a bunch. And what I'm doing right here is you can find blood bags to basically heal yourself. That is a way to make the regeneration factor happen better, in which one of those circles down there is health regeneration skill. And when you feed, you can boost it to where you regenerate much more health per second, or something like that. Pretty sure it's basically how it is. And so you can find blood bags, blood syringes. Those will be basically a way to boost your health. And that guy right there, he has an extra life. Because in this game, the cool thing is, to respawn, you have that little heart icon up there in the far right corner. Up near where the death, the KA, or whatever, the death ratio basically, and kill ratio. Wow, I'm not explaining this very well. Anyways, the heart icon means you have a life that you could afford to lose, and you saw me use the flesh and marble to prevent myself from taking much damage at that moment. Actually got that kill. I was very scared I wasn't going to. When I was in that moment, I was panicking so much because I thought, wow, they're doing a lot of damage. I'm doing a lot of damage. I don't know who's going to win. I'm kind of scared I'm not going to lose. Oh yeah, and of course, like every other battle royale, you have a gas thing, which in this case is like a gas that will burn the vampire if they stand in too long. So you will eventually get hurt. But I do have the flesh of marble to prevent the damage of the storm. Also, there is an item in the game that you could bust over yourself. Like, it's like a little vase thing where you can crack it on yourself. And it's like causes like a repellent of the storm effect. I might die here. Yes, I did. Okay, this is a good way to show you what happens when you do die in this game. Once I perish, there we go, I perished. You are dead. Lives remaining 0. Which means I still can revive, but now I have to find one of those NPCs that has a life thing on their person. Like that one you saw earlier that said, feed to gain a life. If you feed on that kind of person, which I can no longer do, respawns are disabled. But if you would have fed on them beforehand, before the disabling of respawns, you would have been able to get their life back. Which is kind of fun and cool. I don't know, I just like the whole cool vampiric presence. And right there, my little icon right there is red. That little arrow pointing down right there, see? I'm now passively slowing him down to give me an advantage. But I'm not doing very well. And I think he even rushed me just then. So he might be the same type of vampire I am. Because me and him both just did a flesh and marble. And when he rushed me, you seen that I had that little staticky effect on me like that character does. That means he disabled my moves, so I couldn't really use my charge or flesh and marble for the time that static was happening. Now I am defeated. That's fine. But right here is my match summary, where I got 7 eliminations, 2 assists, placed 3rd, finished off or executed 4 people, and I did out over 2,000 damage. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it wasn't too bad for my return. And here's my player level, which I reached up to level 44, which there is a trophy for reaching level 50, which I'm working on. One of the reasons why I decided to reinstall and work on it. Now it's the Officer Enforcer, and of course, like every other game, you do sometimes have your daily challenges, which those are that. Doing like 800 damage, 1000 damage, etc. And you can even get somewhere where you have to like feed on a certain amount of NPCs. You have to take out a certain clan member, being like either a Nosferatu or a clan I am. So like there's a lot of cool things about this, and I will now actually watch my gameplay and comment over what happens instead of just talking my head off and yapping. Okay, I don't want to feed on him because he doesn't provide any buff. And I did look before joining in this match that I saw that there was a challenge taking out 10 of these guys in the first 20 minutes of landing or being in the mode here. I feed on him to gain a random blood resonance, which is the circle thing down there. Now I get 1 health per second. Feed on this guy to do the same kind of buff, while also trying to complete that challenge of defeating 10 of them in 20 minutes. He increased my melee damage, which is the yellow circle, or gold circle, however you want to put it. Killed the third one, drinking his blood to give me more power, which is adding 2 health per second. So it would be up to like 3 health per second, which on your regeneration of your health. That's what the little pink circle represents. I believe the purple one helps like lower the cooldown, maybe the effective, or improve the effectiveness of either the clan or personal ability. I forget how they really pronounce it. Someone's in my area, which I did not notice apparently. It's the arrow down there between the 2 powers of R1, L1 is that little downward arrow that's now flashing red, means enemy nearby. And you're also seeing the Nosferatu ability of bat sonar thing, which that guy definitely just murdered me with it. That's a Nosferatu for you people. But see, I just find this cool. This is basically you respawn. You're now like a ghost specter like thing. And it gives you a moment to regenerate. And then here we go, where I regain an extra life by just feeding on that NPC. And they'll also heal you like almost fully when you feed on an NPC. So you couldn't have to worry about like using a blood bag or blood syringe. You could just feed on an NPC as well to gain your health back fully. There's a lot of cool weapons in this game too, like this one right here. It's just a flare gun, I believe, where it shoots you and you start burning for quite a few seconds. And I just got attacked by one of the coolest weapons, a katana. You literally can have a katana in this game, which I find so cool. But I am dead again. This is probably where I start to fall apart gameplay-wise. I remember that I had a high. I've been like, oh, I'm back. Got 7 eliminations. So cool. Maybe I haven't lost a step. I lost several steps, actually. Because this is the downward spiral of where I start to get worse and worse. So I just stopped recording entirely. And it continued for about another hour or so to try to memorize myself with the patrols and maybe even try to rank up to level 50, which was the whole idea of playing this game again. So I was like, oh, I only got 1 more trophy left to platinum my favorite battle royale. So let me just hop back on there, give it another go, see if I can't finally get to rank 50. Because honestly, I got burnt out on the game. A lot of online competitiveness can do that to me. So I just took a break and then I came back. And these are the results of my return. But then again, like I said, I recorded a whole nother hour without me recording, but you probably didn't miss much. I literally probably got like 3 eliminations at the most in those rounds. My best round was the first one you've seen, which I probably might have ruined by talking so much. But when I'm passionate, I talk a lot. So this is one of my way of expressing my passion for this particular game. So you can let me know in the comments if you want me to continue playing this game. Of course, I will do it differently than this, where I actually talk about what's happening rather than talk about the game in general and just talk nonsense. I'll actually try to make a full-fledged game focused on particularly the gameplay, not my thoughts on the game. And of course, you can just let me know any other vampire game you want me to try. Like, there's another one I have in mind, which I might put, called Vampire. I like that game as well. It's a vampire game. Alright, there, you saw that NPC you had like the purple glow. That tells you that they would give you the buff to that purple circle ability down there, which is, I think, like a increase or buff. And I just found that kind of cool. Even though I got completely obliterated, I found that as a cool little tactic I learned, where you could literally use your flesh and marble to take less damage, you know? Make yourself invulnerable for a few seconds. So I used it to prevent his little shockwave punch, which the Bruhal class has that kind of thing. I think it might be a particular Bruhal. It's not like every Bruhal gets that ability. You have to pick the precise Bruhal, because there's like 2 vampires for each class or each clan. Like, I'm the enforcer of the little law enforcement cops, like the little Tordors or whatever they're called. I'm really bad at the clan names for this. The only ones I really know how to pronounce correctly are Bruhal and Nosferatu. The other ones I don't know how to pronounce very well, even though I like some of the other ones. Like, someone who's better knowledgeable in this game could tell me with the ones that are like, they like stand for like beauty and stuff in this game, but like one of the vampires in that clan has the ability to blind people around you with like a glass shattering effect, where you can literally mess with their vision and blind them for a few seconds to give you advantage. I really like that. This is very similar to like throwing out a stun grenade and other battle royales. It's very fun. And going on to that whole breakdown of clan abilities, as you see me using mine, and me trying to get familiar with the movement of this game, but doing very poorly at it, so I'm not hitting the circle correctly, which is how you slide and stuff. There's me getting some vests to provide my armor. Okay, back to the clan abilities. The Bruhal that I was talking about, you have 2 different Bruhals. One has a shockwave punch, and the other one has like a ground smash. And that ground smash, of course, does like an AoE effect to knock back and damage enemies. Shockwave punch does, as you saw earlier, throws out like a winged shield that blocks damage from coming at the Bruhal, as well as damaging the person who's in the direct line of the shockwave force. Right there, they just did the ability I could do, but have not done. And that's, they just basically silenced one of my abilities, which means I couldn't shove back at them. 15 out of 42. See? I start to fall apart. Oh yeah, I wanted to show this for a little bit. Oh, never mind. I didn't. There's one moment where there's like a weird thing. That might come later. But there's a weird moment. Yeah, don't look at that scorecard. Actually, I'm showing it because I wanted you to see how poorly I did. Because I'm not the best representation of this game. I just really like vampires. So I just found this is very fun. Someone who's a sucker for like a good vampire game, or just a game that explores vampire abilities in different versions of like vampires, I find this kind of fun. And basically, after you win, of course, like every other battle royale, you can have the option to go back to the lobby. And like I said, in this game, the lobby is just a hangout with other players in like a little section. And the cool thing is, in that lobby, you can like take on quests Like there's really like story quests you can do in this game to build the lore of the Masquerade universe, the Vampire the Masquerade lore, to learn about it. And here's me trying that one tactic again, but getting completely overwhelmed by the NPCs, showing more skill lacking. And I just took it. I just took my beating. I was like, yep, I messed up. Just end me. I was not well prepared. Having a pistol taking on assault rifles probably was not a wise idea. But I was like, I just wanted to rush and try to get 10 of them taken out within 20 minutes. There's me picking up that awesome katana I like to use. And each melee weapon also has its own ability, which I believe if I like held R2, or not R2, but L2, if I held L2, it could do like a little spin maneuver. Like I can spin around and it will deflect oncoming bullets, which I find kind of cool. Yeah. There's some NPCs running, which can try to tell you that there's something happening back in that direction. And oh look, we see bullets flying. Hold on 1 second. Let me make this quieter. My dog sees something out the window, so you might have heard her. Sorry about that. And probably after this one, I will leave you with a strictly raw gameplay section of this game. Like a mode where I just show you my highlights. Because I don't know if you really want to see me running around like this to the next kill. Oh, there he goes. There I'm showing the cool little spin of the katana to block oncoming bullets. And me missing completely. Yes, that's good representation, me. Good job. At least you got to see the cool bullets. And of course there is customization, as I was describing earlier, that you do have in-game currency you can use to buy the cool outfits I'm wearing now. So this outfit, of course, doesn't immediately come in the game. And there is a free battle pass right now, because the game, of course, unfortunately, is not getting the greatest attraction. So it does have a free battle pass where you can get a lot of free things by just leveling. And there's my death. 40 out of 42. See how bad it is? Okay. But now, I'm going to leave you with this one with no commentary. So enjoy. Oh, hi, yes. This is me back. And this is that NPC weird thing I was showing you where I had a weird expectation where something glitched out. But anyways, this game sometimes does that. Oh, look, 8 eliminations. So it's a good thing I did show that round. Hopefully you did enjoy that round. I did have to cut around a little bit of it because there was just dead air in some parts. But hopefully you did enjoy this little breakdown of the game from my perspective. Hopefully I didn't ruin it too much for you guys. Hopefully you found some enjoyment out of this little presentation I decided to make. So I really enjoyed this game, possibly my favorite Battle Royale. But thank you for watching. If you did, it really means a lot. Go ahead and feed on the like and subscribe if you think I earned it. Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. See ya!